Anyone who's ever watched a horror movie knows one thing. The characters make horrible decisions. But honestly, if they made good ones, there probably wouldn't be a movie at all. Picture this. You're being chased by a terrifying, lunatic truck driver in the middle of nowhere. That's exactly what happened to Darry and Trish. After narrowly escaping, they spot the same shady man dumping what clearly looks like a rolled-up corpse into a large pipe by the side of the road. And then, he stares at them. Direct eye contact. He knows they saw everything. Most people would drive away, call the police, get help. But Darry? He does something else. He goes back. Instead of getting somewhere safe and making a call, he actually walks back to the pipe. Curious. Maybe too curious. A few rats scare him. He slips, and he falls in. And just like that, he becomes the creeper's next target. Then there's Christine in Drag Me to Hell. She thinks she's escaped her curse, thinks she got rid of the button that was dooming her. Finally, peace. But when her boyfriend Clay pulls out a familiar envelope, her world shatters. Inside it is the cursed button, not the coin. She gave away the wrong envelope. If she had just checked it, just peeked inside before handing it over, she might have been saved from hell itself. In I Am Legend, Robert Neville discovers a cure. He has the answer to everything, the key to saving humanity. He gives the vial to Anna, puts her and her son in the safety of a reinforced coal shed, then pulls the pin on a grenade and charges the Dark Seekers. But here's the thing, he didn't need to die. He could have tossed the grenade, closed the door, and stepped inside. There was space. There was time. 2 steps, and he would have lived. But he chose to become a martyr. Helen's moment in I Know What You Did Last Summer is a classic case of being so close, and then making a terrible choice. She's running for her life. There's a crowd just ahead, a marching band, people, safety. But right before she reaches them, she stops. She turns. She looks behind her. That tiny moment of hesitation, it costs her everything. The killer is right there, waiting. She never makes it to the crowd. Addison's fate in Saw 2 might be the most avoidable of all. There's a glass box, and inside it, the antidote. 2 holes to reach through, but they're lined with blades. Painful. Bloody. But if she had just walked to the other side, she would have seen the lock. A key was already in it. She could have opened it. No cuts, no blood. But instead, she shoved her hand straight in. The razors closed in, slicing deep. Her chance at survival? Gone. These aren't just mistakes. They're the kind of choices that define horror, the quiet, gut-twisting decisions that turn the tide from survival to tragedy. To be continued. She makes the rash decision to shove both hands into the holes. Almost instantly, the blades fitted inside snap down. Her arms are caught. There's no pulling them out. The panic sets in. The pain, unbearable. A moment of desperation. That turns into a death trap. And then, there's Jaws. News spreads about a massive great white shark, lurking dangerously close to shore. People are frightened, but not Mayor Vaughn. He refuses to close the local beach. We depend on the summer people here for our very lives. He argues, if we close the beach, we're not only going to lose business. We're going to have to hire someone to kill the shark. Maybe even tell the Coast Guard. To him, tourism income is more important than the safety of actual human lives. And soon, he pays for that greedy mistake. In blood. Then comes the nightmare of the purge. So many bad decisions. But one of the worst? It starts with a little boy named Charlie. On the one night of the year when murder is legal, Charlie sees a man outside his house. Bloodied, terrified, begging for help. Please someone, open the door. They're coming. They're going to kill me. Despite everything, Charlie disarms the house security system and lets the stranger in. He doesn't know that the man is being hunted by a gang of bloodthirsty purgers. And with that one innocent, foolish choice, he brings death into his own home, including the death of his own father. But the bad choices don't stop there. Later on, while the attackers are literally trying to break into their house, the entire family leaves the safe room, with maniacs at the door, a room built to protect them, and guns in hand. They still split up. They scatter through the house. Any logical person would have held their ground, armed and ready, guarding that one fortified space. But logic has no place in a horror movie. And so, one by one, they're picked off. Now take a look at Halloween, Resurrection. Laurie Strode finally has Michael Myers caught, dangling by a rope. This is her moment to end it all, to finish what began years ago. But just before she does, She hesitates. She wants to know, is it really him? Is it really her brother? So she reaches for the mask. But she forgets one thing. Even hanging upside down, his hands are still free. And her nightmare continues. Tatum, in Scream, finds herself trapped in the garage by Ghostface. She actually fights back, gets him on the ground more than once. She has a chance, a real chance. But instead of grabbing a weapon, or kicking him while he's down, she looks for an escape. And of all places, she chooses the pet door. A tiny, stiff, obviously too small door. She tries to squeeze through, but she gets stuck, and she never makes it out alive. And then, there's Saw. Dr. Gordon is trapped. The phone is so close, just a few inches beyond his reach. He panics. Time is running out. So he picks up the saw and decides to do the unthinkable. He cuts off his own foot, screaming, trembling, bleeding out on the floor. But the cruel irony? He could have used that same saw to pull the phone closer, to reach it without the blood, without the pain. But panic doesn't think. And horror always punishes the desperate.